Chilekupu. Obugo kere lukala. Anyị na-atọrọ gị mma. Lekwe ndị bịara nga m ugbu a. Ọ bụ ndị nshi na Rapid Television. Ha bịara ka mụ na ụlọ bụ mkparịta ụka. Ka mụ na ụlọ bụ mkpa ife gbasara omenala. Madachi Chilekupu ejiri bịa lejiwala. Nna m shọ bịara nga m abịagbule m ya nga ịla mkpukpu apụla ya n'azụ. Ọ bụ ọjị la anyị na-eji anabata ọ. Ọ bụkwa na ọjị la nna anyị njiri lụọ nwaanyị lụọ nne anyị. Ọ bụkwa na ya da njiri ga anabata we. Ọ bụkwa na ọjị la anyị na-eji anabata ọbịa ya. Ana m achị Chilekupu mkpa abịaruwa ma enyewa ọjị aga wee ta ọjị tata mma. Anyị ga-eta ọjị tata udo. Anyị ga-eta ọjị tata ọganihu. Ọ ga-edoro Abia steeti mma. Ọ ga-edoro Nigeria mma. N'aha nke nna na nke ọkpara na nke mmụọ nsọ. Amen.
As the sun rises, so do we rise from the east.
Cha 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 Igbo kwenu. Kwenu. Kwezono.
Eastern Circle.
If you're a leader, wherever you are, and you're listening to this, I cry on behalf of all Nigerians who are badly affected by the situation in this country. Blessed people with talent, with so much to give the world, to show the world. Let our light shine. Do whatever you can. Let's make peace. Let's find a way. Let's stop this before it's too late. Help us. Help our children.
Good morning. Welcome to Eastern Circle. And of course, my name is Michael Odoemena, and it's beautiful to be here again. And I have my partner. Good morning. Ada, how are you?
I'm fine. Good morning, Michael.
Yeah, I mean, you cannot really manage a laugh after that video because, of course, it's something that gets you thinking. I mean, some of the moments we had of the late Onyeka Owen, and you can imagine, very emotional video there. It gets you thinking, it gets you wondering. And this is day 2 of the protest, the hunger-sponsored protest, the End Bad Governance protest. And when I think about it, it's something that we've been talking about for
a long
way
time.
Too long.
It's a pity that the same thing she has been crying about, or she has cried out about in her
why she was in the media.
Exactly. And she's dead. And I hope something is done and done quickly, because we can't continue like this as a country.
Definitely, we can. And I don't think the Nigerian people are asking for too much. I mean, good governance is something that people deserve. I mean, something that should naturally come to them from their government, right?
Exactly.
So I don't think they're asking for too much. Anyways, welcome to Eastern Circle, of course, day 2 of the protest. And how actually is the protest faring in wherever you are? But let's get into what we have for you this morning. The hashtag End Bad Governance and hunger protest, of course. How did it fare down here in the East? Possible reasons and the way forward. We'll look at that shortly on the show this morning.
And speaking about the hunger sponsorship, it seems the Ebonyi State government is getting more and more intentional about clipping the wings of hunger and its sponsorship with the recent empowerment of over 2,000 farmers in the state, just weeks after empowering the state's agricultural ministry with mechanized farming equipment, and also with the help they are getting from the World Bank. And we'll go on a short break right now, and when we return, we'll bring you the full gist. Please stay with us.
As the sun rises, so do we rise from the east.
Cha 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 Igbo kwenu. Kwenu. Kwezono.
Eastern Circle.
You're welcome back. You're still watching Eastern Circle on Rapid TV. And before we went on that short break, we were talking about the protest here in Umuahia, the capital of Abia State, where the protests seem not to have happened, at least on the major streets of the city. Also, it seemed like many people preferred to stay indoors, as if they were scared of impending danger, because even many shops around the city were under lock and keys. What could have been the reason for this, Michael? Because I experienced it firsthand while coming to work this morning. Number one, it was difficult for me to get a tricycle. I had to stay at Ishigate for some minutes, like let's say 45 minutes, before I was able to get keke. Shops were closed, and the ones that opened, they didn't bring out their wares or their goods outside. They just opened their doors and sat inside. And one beautiful thing was I saw the presence of the security officers at different junctions in Umuahia, and from what it looks like, I think the protest didn't happen in Umuahia.
Actually, it's not. I don't know about today, but as far as yesterday is concerned, like the streets were dry. I mean, even if you take, we have some footages from Aba as well. The shops were locked, the streets were dry. At least the early hours of the day, you know, people weren't coming out. Like it was just all the way dry. So when you talk about the reason, in fact, even somewhere in Anambra as well, on Nishamen Market, so people were there in the market, but they rather chose to play football around. They closed, locked down their shops, and then they all gathered in front of the hall with it, and then they were playing football. So I don't know. Now, let's look at it from another angle. Some days ago, in fact, I think it was a day before the day of the protest, in some parts of the East, there were scary incidents like shootings and all of that.
That happened
like
in
like in Imo State as well. And then, even prior to that, some of our leaders, people like Ben Kano from here in Abia State, we saw him talking about the protest as well, and then he specifically said that the Igbos should not
stay at home,
come out to protest. Anyway, I have a thing or two to say about that, but let's get to hear from the man himself.
Igbos, stay away. Igbos, stay in your houses. You'll be used as an scapegoat. They will target you and they will waste you. Igbos, we have died enough. Our blood has filled the street enough. Allow those who feel they can do it.
grappling to
With
get
what
over
happened
the
during the
incident of
EndSARS.
EndSARS. So it could just be, it's neither here nor there.
there.
People could have decided based
On their own not to
yeah,
come
on their
out
own
to
not to come
protest.
out for a bunch of
Exactly.
reasons best known to them. But at the end of the day, the rights to protest rest in the hand of the people.
Exactly.
But then on the other hand as well, at least
able to go to Ebonyi State and say, okay, they have quality cassava stem that when I get it and put in my farm, I'll get good yields. When I want to get seedlings, I can come to Abia or go to any other state. So if these ministries are invested into and given all they need to function, I think food sscarcity
and
would
apart
be a
from
thing
the
of the past in the
investments,
Southeast.
mandates too, because it's one thing. Because I know. I still remember where I'm from. Sometimes you go to some of these ministries, then you find those equipment, those machineries bought for the ministries. They will just be packed in the compound, and some of them are getting old and they've never been used. So I mean, it's just beyond providing these things. Who is at the helm of affairs at these ministries to ensure that those things provided are actually made use of? Because farming, agriculture, we cannot overemphasize. We have lands.
Exactly.
So what are the Ministry of Agriculture in all the states doing? They should head into the farm. And because this is the reason why even the government is surprised, or the president, for instance, is surprised that the silos are empty. It's only when you've eaten enough that you can put in the silos. And then one other thing I find interesting about this development in Ebonyi State is that they are also going to make available funds to equip the markets to rebuild
We've had our independence for more than 20 years. By third world standards, we have a well-educated elite. We had a productive farming economy. We have minerals. And we discovered a few years ago that we had oil, a lot of oil. Yet today we're importing food that we should be growing. We are a bankrupt nation, and we have an international reputation for large-scale corruption. Many of our people are unhappy, and some even hungry. What has gone wrong? This is what I set out to explore. We sensed that change had to come to our nation, that our people wouldn't continue to accept the inefficient, corrupt civilian government of President Shagari. We were right. Before this film was completed, the coup took place. So our report, instead of being a prophecy, is now an explanation as to why the majority of my people, most of whom know what democracy is about and want it ultimately, welcomed yet another military takeover. I'm not a politician. I'm not an economist. The story I have to tell is a personal one about my hopes and fears for my country. Apart from journalism, I'm a singer, and I suppose this more than anything is my way of communicating my feelings. Seems to have lost my way, never been another day, never been the night of the dream. I write my own songs. This one, we're rehearsing, is both a love song and a song about my country. I've sometimes thought of leaving Nigeria, yet every time I'm away, I miss it. Now,
As the sun rises, so do we rise from the east.
Cha, 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 Igbo kwenu. Kwenu. Kwezono.
Eastern Circle.